shoot. Okay. Is this even, I don't understand what's happening. Live chat. What? Am I on? Lord. Why can't this be easy? I don't even know. Can anybody? No, I don't. Okay, so that's where the numbers are. Oh, someone's in here. Hi, this is I think my second live. I haven't done one in like a year and a half. So I don't know what I'm doing. So please bear with me. Oh, okay. So I'm hoping. Oh, hey guys. You know what? You guys are what inspired me to go live. Did I? I don't think I told you that, but I think your video is so cool when you guys do that. The reviewing the YouTubers channel. That's dope. If I had any kind of tech savviness, I would totally do something like that. I thought that was so cool. And then I was like, man, I need to just go live. Hey, Shanique's Drink. Thank you, girl. It's time to almost get this stuff redone. I've been trying to hold out because it takes so long, but don't look too close. How are you guys doing? What's up? This is my second live, and all the new people I've started watching, including Food and Music, y'all have lives often. And I was like, I need to get, because I feel like you just connect so much better when you are able to talk to people in real time. Yes, y'all inspired me for real. So I thought I need to just start getting on live more because it's cool when people comment in on your post or on your page, your channel, but I like interacting with the people I watch. So I'm like, why don't I do that? You hate getting your hair done? Let me see. You know what? I hate taking it out, washing it, conditioning it, because you know how it goes. We got to do this. It's like takes a whole day before you can actually get your hair done. That part I hate, but doing it I like because I know I'm about to be looking decent and I won't have to do my hair every day. That's the whole point. Shanique, thank you. I appreciate it. Food and Music. Yeah, it looks like you guys enjoy it. That's what made me like, see, here comes another one. LQ Love. She's one that I've been following. Just started following her, and she does lives all the time, and she'll be doing her makeup, and I'm just like into it. I can't, y'all, it's so cool. I like it. Okay, now, y'all, I need to figure out, maybe I need to pull it up on my page so I can see the comments consistently. Oh, okay. Because it keeps going away. I'm new at this, y'all. Bear with me. I want to be able to read what y'all say. Because, see, it keeps going away on my... Hey, girl. LQ, you are so adorable. You are just so adorable. I've been, like, binge watching your channel. And I probably should just go ahead and comment because I know that helps you. But I'd be like, I don't want her thinking I ain't got no life. Because I'll be on all your channel, all your videos, girl. That makeup, and even I want you to do more mukbangs. I like watching you eat. Is that weird? I guess it's not weird. People do it, but you're good at it. Thank you, LQ. Yeah, Food and Music, you'll like her. Oh, so LQ, what Food and Music does, which is one of the things that inspired me to do a live today, is they do, I don't know how often they do it, but when you go to their lives, they feature YouTubers. So if you go on their live, they'll put another split screen of your video, and everybody in the live gets to watch your video, so then everybody can go show you some love. Isn't that dope? They did that to me the other day. I didn't even know. I just popped in, and she's like, "No, you're gonna be on there," and I was like. I was so like excited but nervous, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But it was so cool, and I got lots of love from that. So it was dope. You'll like them. They have a good thing going over there. Yeah, you'll like them a lot. So I came on here because I have a lot of new viewers lately, and people are asking me a lot of questions. And I thought, you know what? I haven't done like a get to know me, ask question, Q&A for a long time. And so one of the big areas people ask me questions about is my boo, because they're always like, when you say you're going to see Pookie, or when you say you went to visit, what does that mean? Well, I thought I would come and give y'all an update. I don't know if you guys are even interested in that, because I told some of the ones that were asking to come on in, and they didn't know what time I was doing it, because I honestly didn't know I was going to do it, because I'm actually on my way to see him now. Every Wednesday. Okay, that's good to know. So do you guys repeat view, like if I've already been on there, would you just repeat and show mine again, or you just do it for one time? How does that work? Because how would you track that? That'd be hard to keep track unless you really know who you're doing. Oh, you will. That's so dope. I wish I knew how to do that. Because I think that just gives some people so much encouragement when they're getting to share their channel to a whole nother audience, you know? You have to use your laptop and phone. LQ said, I want to know. All right, girl. So I've done a few videos, but they're way, 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 way back. And so not everybody when you're new, you don't always go back to the old stuff. Plus, when I look at my old videos, I'd be like, girl, you just be looking out here some kind of way. So anyway, so Pookie, that's what I call him. He's okay. He loves that I do this, but he's not really sure how all this works. So he wants to kind of stay anonymous, which I totally respect. But Pookie's my husband. I've been with him we just hit our 23-year mark, and he is currently incarcerated and has been for over 20 years. So we've been together. Yeah, we've been together the whole time he's been incarcerated, but we were married within his incarceration. We were together before he got incarcerated. Let me say that. So a lot of people are like, because I talked about before, like going to visit or staying overnight. So people are like, how are you doing that? Where is he at? What's he doing? So because he's incarcerated and because we're married, we can have overnight visits. And so we get those every 60 days or so. And it's kind of like, you move into, it kind of looks like a project house, where it's kind of just a little house that has a kitchen, a bathroom, a shower, a living room, 2 bedrooms, and it's all that linoleum floor. That floor that they be having in the projects. It's a duplex. So it's me and him and then another couple. So we each have our own homes. We're not connected in any way. And they check us in. I bring all the food. Everything has to be packaged in, it has to be can't be opened. So except for your vegetables, you can cut those up, but everything else has to be in a package. So when I say I'm going away, and I'm spending the weekend with him, that's what I'm doing. It's kind of like an Airbnb, but just not nearly as cute or glamorous. So he's been, like I said, he's been locked up over 20, but he comes home in July. So when I first started the channel, it was around the time, like, I don't know if you guys watch Love After Lockup or even just the show Lockup. There's all these like little prison shows that I've watched over the years. And I'm always so fascinated by them because it's totally different than my life, which is weird. I even think like, how is that possible when we're doing the same thing, but your life is so different? It's so different, but it fascinates me. So I started watching the Love After Lockup because, it was after the dudes or the people are getting out of prison. And since I knew he was getting out, I wanted to kind of be like, what's going on? What happens? What happens? I pray for all of them because it sounds like a mess. Kristen HTC TV, what's up, girl? You are so dope. She's one of my new followers, and she has been like on it. She's been watching everything. I appreciate you, girl. Oh, we're talking about my husband and the fact that he's incarcerated and that he comes home this coming July. And so we're getting ready for that. And so a lot of people who've been with me a long time, they know that part, but I wanted to come on and share because I have so many new subscribers in the last couple weeks and people are asking questions. So I thought I would update because I'm sure your minds are wondering. It took me a long time to even share my story because I felt like everybody was going to think I was like the people you see on TV. And they always are portrayed as like they have daddy issues or they're not very attractive and can't get anybody else. They're not very educated. It always makes it sound like, oh, this poor, stupid girl. And I can't even imagine because, if it wasn't me being in the situation, I'm sure I had the same, stereotypes in my head. But I can say that over the years, I don't really have like prison friends. Like there's people you've known for years and years and years. So get comfortable with them. But as far as when they get out of prison, it's not like you really keep up that much so far. And I think it's because we had so much time to go, you know. So now that we're on the end of it, it's I just wanted to kind of start talking about my story because I have a lot of stuff has gone on. That's amazing. It takes a strong woman. Hey, their stage to aren't you LQ sister? Isn't that how I met you? I think I met you through LQ. Girl, you talk, yes, it does take a strong but yeah, and that's right, Kristen HCC. It takes a good man to keep my attention because I mean, this is arrogant, but I ain't ugly. Never been ugly. It ain't because I can't find nobody else. It ain't because they be like, what's up, girl? What you doing? It's not, never been that. My dad was in my life the whole time I was growing up. I didn't have that kind of a daddy issue. I wasn't seeking like attention from people I couldn't get. I met him when I was 11 years old in church. Our families were best friends. It wasn't until I was probably 13 or 14 when I started to like develop a crush on him because before that he was like a big brother to me. And then I started to develop this crush on him, but by then he was like he's 4 years older than me. So he was like, she's a little girl. I'm not touching that. No, he didn't even look at me that way. And I remember he went away to college, his first year of college, which would have made him 18. And I was in 10th grade. So he's almost 4 years. So I was like 16 or yeah, 15, about to be 16. He came home for Christmas break and I had got my braces off. I lost some weight because I was in volleyball. I had got boobs. My booty was banging. Like I was all of a sudden just a little woman. And I remember him seeing me for the first time. Like he just couldn't stop looking at me. And even his mom was like, I told you. Because forever his mom, I used to love his mom to death. She was tight with me. Like my mom was tight with me. There's a lot that goes into that. So I'm sure we'll tell that story too. But you do find your person in many ways. And I don't ever want to say that those girls are dumb who find someone in prison and go and marry them. I can't say that. I mean, I'm really no different, except I've known him before that. And like I said, love just finds you. Sometimes I will say when I'm looking at if I see the girl and I know he's got someone else coming and you see it, you just can't say anything because that's all the code. Like I can't do that because that puts Pookie in a position, and I've done that before and it's been a mess because I was kind of friendly with this girl and it can get crazy. But when you see that, you kind of can instantly, especially since you've been in it so long, you know what's for real, you know what's not. You know if he's really into you because he likes you and loves you, or if you're a check for him every month, you know? And that's the part that makes me sad because I think some of these guys are really good at gaming them. And then some of the other ones are like, why are you in prison? You are a great person. You made a mistake. And in Pookie's case, he didn't make a mistake. He was black. And they said, it's you. Even after the victim said it wasn't him. So that's a long story. And it's one that I'm not bitter anymore. I think he's still a little bitter because he's been in prison for almost 23 years for something that he didn't do. Which makes it harder. And honestly, I don't know that I could have been with him if he had done it. You know what I mean? And the reason I know he hadn't done it is because he was at our house when the crime happened. He was talking to me on the phone. He called me. They had my records or the phone records. There was no way he could be where they said he was. There was no fingerprint, no footprint. The guy that was shot said it wasn't him. I know him. I would have known it was him. The thing that changed it, which now that like I'm so into true crime and I watch all these detectives interviewing people. Sorry, y'all, I'm talking and not. Hey, Sade. We're going through this thing. Oh, that breaks my heart. It's so hard. And okay, so yes. My brother's an attorney and also my cousin, she does like investigation stuff for the defense attorneys, I believe. So when he gets out, it's game time. We've exhausted all remedies while he's in there. So I don't want you sitting there thinking we've been just sitting on our hands. We have had appeals where they have said you have proven flagrant prosecutorial misconduct. You've proven it. However, it would set a precedent that we're not willing to set, because if you set a precedent, that means everybody who's been wronged under that same law can come now and say, you need to fix this. So they threw it away and made us go to the higher court, and the higher court never responded to us. Which is kind of like, how can you not respond when they've already said we have a valid issue? They sent it to you, and then you guys just decide, no, we're not going to look at it. It's so crazy. They will put you in there quick, but to get you out, for them to admit they did wrong, it's really difficult. And if you're poor and you don't have money and you don't have the lawyer that knows how to maneuver through this system, I mean, you're really SOL. Hey, Tasha Society. Ooh, y'all will like her. She's good too. She's really funny. She's really funny. She does mukbang and she does beauty, wigs. Tasha, you got to meet LQ, because LQ does the same thing. So does Nurse Dej. Y'all would hook up. Y'all could do some collabs, I think. Thanks, Shanique. You know what? I was sorry for. Oh wait, and this died a heart attack, and that. Oh my God, Nurse Dej. What state are you guys in? Do you mind if you tell me the state? We're in Washington State, and even though it really sucks to be in prison, I have to say that I feel like this state is a lot. I guess it's one of the better states. I think they give you a lot more opportunity here when you're locked up than I've heard from ladies that are in other states. In Florida, but he's in the South. Gosh, it's really difficult down there. Just from what I've heard from other ladies that I have talked to online and stuff. Do you guys get to see them very often? And do they have it where you could have like overnights like I do because you're family? I was saying something. Oh, Shanique. Yeah, so it was a hard thing to go through, especially when being so young and you miss out on so much. I mean, the reason, like, I can't say that there was times that I didn't think I was just gonna have to leave, because for one, when I went to college, I went away to school and I couldn't see him. There was years where I saw him maybe one or two times a year. There were some years that I could only talk to him maybe once a month. And it's really difficult to support someone who's locked up, but I just could not turn my back on him because I knew he shouldn't be there. And it was so clear that he shouldn't have been there. And now, years later, it took us, had a lot of heartbreak. There was a lot of like sadness that happened. But now when I look back and I see how God literally carried us through that, because nobody else could have went through what we went through and still been together. But, and growing up being younger, and when you first tell people like, yeah, my boyfriend or my husband, he's locked up, you get them eyes like, okay, oh, like they think you're crazy. And then they just stop talking to you. I don't know how many friends I lost, which clearly they weren't my friends. But then that just made me want to like hold it in. And I started living basically two lives. Like nobody knew about him. I never would talk about him. I wouldn't say a boyfriend. I was so good at changing a topic that if you brought up relationships or anything, I could switch it back to you and you wouldn't even know I just finessed you. I was so good at it. But then I got so exhausted because I'm like, I am a wonderful person and nobody knows this side of me. So how am I being real? How can I say I'm being a real friend to you if you're my friend and you don't even know anything about him? And it was all because I was afraid of being judged and being like looked at as being, desperate or lame, or however you see these girls portrayed. That's how people think. They only know what's on TV. So depending on what show they watch, they just think, oh, yeah, he's cheating on you. Yep, he's gay. Oh, yeah, he's probably he's using you for your money. And I just want to say, if he's using me for his money, he picked the wrong girl, because he don't get nothing from me. He takes care of himself, But you can't really say that. Let me go back. There's so many stories recently. Yeah, there are a whole lot. Once he just got moved. We recently reconnected, so we missed a lot of time. I'm so sorry, LQ. I know that. No, they weren't my friends. And at first it hurt me, Sade, but now, deuces. I don't care. My group is very small. My circle's small, and I like it that way. Shanique, that's true. They shouldn't be so quick to judge, because when you think about it, we're all, 2-3 people away from being connected to somebody who's incarcerated or having a family member incarcerated. Everybody acts like this is just so, but, and mind mind you, I live in Washington, so the population up here is very white. And I go in that prison and I see way more white people than I do see black people. But nobody ever talks about that. They always make it like it's just black folks locked up. Yeah, there's a lot more of us locked up, especially wrongfully convicted. But white folks do stuff too. Y'all get in trouble too. They can't. Now that I've taken my power back and I understand like that this is a part of my story, this is just part of my chapter, or chapters to my life book. I've just kind of learned to embrace it, and it's like it kind of helps me weed out who I want in my life anyway, based on how they respond to me or respond to him. Here's the thing: you can talk bad about me all day, but you talk about my man, I'd be ready to cut you. Do not, especially when you don't know. I used to get so defensive, and not because I thought what they were saying was true, but it was just like, how dare you? If he was out here, you wouldn't be saying a thing. And how many of them had skeletons in their closet? None of us do. But listen, I'm glad you said that, because before this happened with Pookie, my life was so sheltered. When I tell you church, I lived in church. My mom was in charge of praise group. My dad was one of the elders. My godfather was the pastor. My uncle was he did the tithing and the tambourine man. That's what everybody calls him. My grandma's mother of the church. Like, my whole family was the church. We went to church on Sunday morning for Sunday school, Sunday for the church, Sunday night for night service. Then you come back on Tuesday for choir practice. Wednesday was Bible study. Friday was youth group. And Saturday was the family barbecue. And wash, rinse, and repeat. That was my life. I lived in church. So it was a very, very sheltered upbringing I had. And mine, I was also very young. And at the time it was like, well, if you do wrong, the justice system is going to come through and he'll be exonerated because they know the truth. And it was a rude awakening. It was like when I found out that his attorney, who was a public defender, was sharing the same cubicle as the prosecutor that was prosecuting his case. Does that sound crazy to anybody else but me? Like, I don't even know how that's okay at all. People have tried to tell me that that's common, but you can't tell me that their conversations were not a little off board. Like, you know how they negotiate, like, okay, well, I'm going to give you this one if you give me this one and this one. And I really felt like they used them as pawns to have this winning record. When we go back and when we turn in the case about them saying that the prosecutor had flagrant misconduct. I mean, look up the word flagrant. That's a very strong word. And for them to say that he did that, but we're not going to do anything about it. I mean, that's too much work. Let people get out of prison that aren't supposed to be there. I mean, why would we do that? It's crazy. Thumbs up. Oh, thanks, Shanique. You know what, Shanique? I need to make you a moderator. Can I make you a moderator? I'm going to add you. Yes, ma'am. Kristen, I'm going to add you too, boo. I don't think we need it, but in the future, I hope to do these more often. That was my life. Yes, those was the days I stayed in. Girl, I stayed in the church. Thanks, food and music. It does take strength, but like I said, it kind of goes back to a lot to give him a lot of credit too, because I could have been sidetracked so easy out here. And I always told him, like, if you start acting common, I can get common out here. And I could get dinner with a common. I could have regular boom boom with a common. I could get my feet rubbed. He'd take my trash out. I could get a common joker to do a lot of things. So if you start acting like that, I'm going to go down the street and find one that can do a lot more. I don't need you to be common. So he had to keep upping his game to keep your girl interested. But at the same time, like, I had to too. When he was growing, I would have to grow. And when I was growing, he'd have to grow. And we both have to just work at it. It was very difficult. It's a lot of trust. I think too, he kind of knows how I was bred. I was never like the girl that wandered. When I love you, I love you. Like, you are the one. I only can look this way. And he's very much the same way. And honestly, the reason I started liking him was because his dad, I used to see how his dad would dote on his mom. And it was so different than my parents. Even though my parents were together up until I was 21 when she passed away. My parents were together their whole life, but I never saw them really be affectionate. They never like held hands. They weren't cutesy. But when I met Babe's parents, and his dad just doted over her all the time. He's opening her door. He's telling her how beautiful she was. Like if she was gone out, he'd call and check on her. I remember my mom, we could be out for hours and my dad would never call and check on us. It was just not their relationship, which now that I'm older, I see why, because they just weren't really that compatible in the first place. But his family, his parents were really what made me be like, now, if he's seen that his whole life, then he's gonna do that to me, and he does. Like the man worships me. Trust is huge. I've never, and the thing is, people are like always saying like, well, you know, he ain't cheating on you, girl. If you only knew what goes down in that visiting room. Not only do these dudes have other girls that come in, but the guards, the female guards, they're way worse. There's been so many stories about these female guards getting walked off the campus because they done got caught in the closet with somebody. And then even he's told me some that have made these propositions to him, and he's just like, what? Like it's nuts. It's really crazy. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give some of you guys a heads up about that. Especially, like I said, my new followers, I really appreciate you guys. You guys have come in and really shown me a lot of love, and I appreciate that. And a lot of people were asking questions, so I just kind of wanted to fill that part in so you knew that. Especially on Fridays, if I'm going to trailers, typically on a Friday, and I'll put in my community post, like, not going to be able to visit at trailer or something. And before, that's been like, what is trailer? What are you talking about? But that's what I mean. It's over the overnights. Trust is huge. I heard that they do. Girl, they do. They be messy. He told me one time, so the way the shower was set up, there was the showers and then you walked up this stairwell, but in between the next floor and the stairwell, there was like a gap of space. And this lady, mind you, she every time I come in, she's another sister, was like, "What's up, beautiful? You're so gorgeous. You guys are so cute together." She's always saying that to me, always kikiing, like being cool. He told me one day he was in the shower and she went and sat on the stair and was just watching him through that little peep, like the little space between the stairs. And then he tried to turn around and she was threatening him that she was going to write him up if he didn't turn back around. Now, y'all don't know Pookie yet, but he is one that gives no F's. And he basically told her where to go, but he was like, "You ain't about to bully me into so you can see my stuff." But yeah, isn't that? And then came the next week smiling at me, not thinking I know. Okay, whatever. That's why I started the channel, Kristen, is that I wanted us to tell our story, and when he comes home, I want them people to see how it can be successful afterwards. Not just our relationship, because I mean we work hard at this relationship, and we're not naive to think that like once you come home all the problems go away. I mean, it's going to be problems that we haven't even been able to consider because we haven't been together for so long. But I just really want people to see how prison does not have to like be your whole life. Once you get out, you can kind of try to drop that. Fortunately, I've seen in the last couple of years some guys that he's known that have been down a long time. One guy, my Papa V, he was down for 20 something years, was a third striker for drug charges. He had 3 strikes, so he was in there for life without for a drug charge. And he ended up getting a clemency, which means you have your case seen, and then the governor signs off to have your sentence ended. So after being in there for 28 years, I think, with 3 strikes, so he was really going to spend the rest of his life in prison. He got clemency, and he's been out, for almost 3 years now, and he's doing so good. He works as a recovery coach. So he works with this nonprofit for people who have had drug issues because he had them too, and they a lot of them have criminal convictions. So he helps them get their job, find housing, like just getting them on their feet again. And he does such a good job at it, and he's been doing awesome. And he's an older man. He's like 60. I think Papa V is like 60 in early 60s, but he's getting a second chance. Really a 4th chance because he had the 3 strikes, but he's really making it. All of the times he got his strikes, he was really young. And when the 3 strike rule came out, he had already been incarcerated. So they didn't say 3 strikes from this point on. It was like, we're counting your last strikes too, or your last felonies too. So it was crazy. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? Oh, hey, Mish. Hey girl, good to see you. Um, so yeah, but when I talk about on my videos, you guys feel free, ask me questions because I don't mind. I do really want to just share. Um, I do want to share our story. I think it's a good story. There's so many pieces of this story that's like, what? So there was a couple shows ago, I had asked. They were talking about what were we talking about? I had mentioned like how people get down in the visiting room and how it can get really X-rated really fast. And people were like, "We want to know the story. Tell us the story." So I was talking to Babe like, "What stories can I tell that don't like make it just look so trashy because they're so bad." It's so that visiting room. I've seen so much in that visiting room, y'all. It's crazy. The stuff that goes down in there. You're just like, "How did I get here? What happened?" It's supposed to be a regular Friday, and instead I'm witnessing this mess. But there's a lot of good stories too. And the exciting part, I just kind of, even for just me and him, wanted to journal our trek to this end this July. So in July, he comes home out of prison, but he goes to a work release. So in that's for 6 months, he'll live at this work release place, have a job, and then in the evenings I can go visit him, and on the weekends he can come to my house, or to our house. He'll come here for 12 hours a day, 2 days a week, but he can earn up to 40 hours a week, which means I can pick him up after work during the week, bring him home, we have dinner, hang out, whatever, and then take him back. So I kind of like that because it's getting us used to being in each other's space all the time. I'm almost 40. I'm 38, going to be 39 this year, and I have lived on my own forever. And for this, pretty much he has too. Um, so it's going to take a little adjusting because even when we're together just for the weekends, I tell you, that man, he's so clean. Like everything has to be in its place all the time. That's just his way. He's very OCD like that. And I'm not. I'm very messy. I'm not dirty, but I'm messy. Like if I'm done with my plate or my cup, I'm gonna just sit it on the side until I get up to go to the kitchen. It's not like I have to go do it right now. He has to go do it right then, and it drives me insane. Things like that. We're gonna have to just work through. I mean, I guess there could be bigger problems, but I'm just like, if you don't put that damn cup down, I'm not done with my cup. Leave my cup. I always have to tell him that. And then, like, one day I caught him. I was coming out of the bathroom and he was trying to make a fast break to the kitchen. I gave him that eye. He put my cup down. Like, don't touch my cup. Me too, LQ. Common areas, I get it. But in my room, leave me alone. Because I know where everything's at. And if you need to know where it's at, then I'll tell you. But otherwise, don't touch my stuff. Thanks, Kristen. Yeah, girl, I'm 38, almost 39. Babe is gonna be, if I'm 39, that means he'll be 43 this year, I think. Yeah. That boyfriend is like that. I will clean and he'll clean out. It is annoying. Like, let it go. It's not that serious. Hey, Frank G. Long time no see, buddy. Long time. Thanks, Tasha. No, he does that, and it drives me insane. But that, at the same time, other places like the bathroom, I know the bathroom will never be clean. I mean, never be dirty. I know I won't have to ever pick out his hairs out the sink. Like, he's so clean about that. And I think it's partly a prison thing too, because it's so nasty in there. And so he's constantly cleaning, disinfecting his room, like, because it's just nasty. So I do appreciate that, but just leave me alone. So I have, in this house, I just recently bought this house. So we have our bedroom, but then I made one of the spare rooms like my dressing room. So I have all my clothes, I do my makeup, everything in that room. So I'm going to close that door, and the rule is going to be, do not come in here unless you're invited. And it might look a disaster, but it's my disaster. But like I said, the good thing is I won't have to have that nasty, your hair is all in the sink. Like he's really clean about stuff like that. So I appreciate it, but you better keep my stuff out your way. And then I think the only other thing that's going to be kind of challenging, but also I think will be endearing too, is this whole technology thing. It's like he's walking out of prison into the future. He has no concept of how YouTube works, how I'm talking to you guys and you're seeing me in real time. Like, I try to explain that stuff to him, and it's like, I don't even know how to break it down to give examples on how that works, except like sometimes there'll be commercials that he'll see something and he's like, so on there they said, "Hey Alexa," and then this thing started playing, like stuff like that. And then the other day he was like, "So what's the cloud?" And I was like, "Babe, everybody try. That's the question everybody wants to know. What's the cloud?" But he does have some access to email. They do, excuse me, they have a kiosk where they can email, but it's still not in real time. You know how like we email and we get it right away? He'll email me and it would take a week. And same when I email him back. And I have to pay for it. I have to pay a stamp, which is a actual stamp. You have to buy these stamps electronically. And he has to pay to send me one. I have to pay to send him one. They gouge you. It's so expensive. Yes, so that's the thing. That's why I've been really trying to get my weight together, Shanique, because I do want babies. And I'm manifesting that I'm going to have a boy and a girl. I'm going to get next year, next January. All I'm focusing on is getting pregnant because by next January, he'll be home. And I'm running out of time because, my eggs is getting scrambled as we speak. I'm knocking on 40. And ideally I wanted to wait so we have some time just to get more time just to get, be together and travel. And then he was like, "Why can't we travel when we have kids? It might be more difficult, but we can still do it. It doesn't mean like kids are going to stop everything." Oh, LQ, we had to do that for years too, and it takes so long. Hopefully they'll upgrade that because everybody's doing this JPay which give you where you can do video visits too. You can actually do a video visit and email, and then you can also send pics through it so they get the pictures a lot quicker. I wonder if you guys could write them and ask them about that. I'm claiming it, Mish. I'm having my boy and girl twins, pop them babies out, and it'd be a wrap. You're right. And that is the ideal Nurse Dage, but I mean, we can't wait forever. Like, we're gonna have these kids, then you gotta raise the kids, and who knows when they're gonna be gone, and having two, not having grandparents that can just take the babies. Like, we gonna have to figure it out. Oh, really? I wonder if you could write them and ask them why, and then see if they're willing to add that, because it makes money for the prison too. They get a cut off of that. Janet Jackson, girl, but food and music. Now, I don't got no Janet Jackson money, and I'm sure she had some help. I'm trying to not have to need no help, which I'm already kind of on the border, but I feel you. It can happen. It can happen. But she, if anybody could make that happen, baby girl, Janet could do it. Which, by the way, I got my tickets, and I'm going to see her in August. Woo! My first time ever seeing her. Yeah, Pate. That's funny, Nurse Jay's. Yeah, she definitely has some help, which I ain't even mad. And actually, I was looking at my insurance because we can change our policy every November. And so this last one, I was looking to see which one's covered if I needed some like fertility help, how much I'd have to pay out of pocket and stuff. So I'm really praying that I don't have to do that. Now listen, he has twins that run in his family. His mom has twin sisters, and his mom also had a set of twins, but one passed away pretty quickly after she was born. And I'm hoping that passes down, but they say it only passes down through the female, not through the male. I don't have any twins as record in my family, but I want twins. I want a boy and a girl. My fiance are finally getting married next year. We did it kind of backwards. We have our 4 kids, 10, 9, 3, 2. Ooh, girl, you did it back to back, space, back to back. You kept yourself busy. Listen, there's no right way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Especially if Tosh, when you raised in church, they telling you every time you do something wrong, you about to go to hell. I mean, I should have been there 15,000 times by now. And I was raised in that way I believed that way into like my early 30s, where it was just like, you have to do everything like this. And I'm just like, there's no way God meant that, because there's no way. Life is so crazy. He's created all of us. None of us are a mistake. There's all these paths and twists and turns, and he still loves me at the end of the day. So why am I living in fear for just being human? I'm trying. And that's when I know he sees my heart. He sees what I'm trying to do. Sometimes things just happen, and your right is not my right. And when you talk about that Bible, This might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm just saying, anybody and everybody, we've seen the good, the bad, the ugly, use that Bible to justify their acts. Can I get an amen? So it doesn't matter what, I mean, not saying it doesn't matter, but I'm saying that sometimes there's a lot to be interpreted into that. And if you really look at the real meanings of things, we're all doing it wrong. We were judged for so long. It's terrible. It is terrible because at the end of the day, you have 4 beautiful children. So what? So what that y'all didn't get married? You're doing it now. And if your household was full of love, that's what matters. Those kids are loved. Those kids are taken care of. People need to mind their own business. And the thing is because even if you think it's wrong, I can think that what you're doing is wrong, but why do I feel like I need to tell you? What authority do I have over your life? Being your mama, your cousin, your sister, your brother. I have none. It's not my business. Unless if your actions are affecting me from living my best life, I have no reason to say anything to you about anything. You know what I'm saying? People just need to mind their own business and stay in their lane. It's too much. It's too much. Stop eating processed meats and foods. I've heard menopause is not natural. Oh, really? Well, I don't eat processed foods anyway because it's not good for you. Menopause is not natural, so they think that it's because of the diet that brings that on, Kristen. Ooh. Are you sure? Is she telling y'all she conceive naturally food and music? Naturally how? What does natural mean? Hey, Tiki and Nika. Hey, y'all. It has been a long time. How are y'all doing? I have to catch up with you guys. For some reason, are y'all still doing videos? Because I don't see you on my feed I haven't seen you for a long time. They're dope, y'all. You need to go check them out if they're still doing. Are y'all still doing it? I gotta go check you out. I'm gonna catch up on y'all. And it's like, exactly. Why do you care? Are you paying for it? Oh, are you gonna pay for my wedding? Unless that's the case, shut up. Thanks, Kristen. Look at you looking out for me, girl. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest that I was very judgmental for a long time. And I know it was just kind of my upbringing and my brainwashing and kind of just thinking that you're just better, and you're just not. You're really not. Oh, you've been on a break. I get it, boo. I was on a break for a long time too. You need that sometimes, but I'm still gonna go over there and watch the ones I missed. Naturally meaning without help. Really? I'm proud of her if that's the case. That's so rare. What kind of eggs does she have? Are they outlined in diamonds? They must be. What? Naturally at 50. Now, I don't know why that's so hard for me to believe. I don't know why that's so hard for me to believe. Pearl, yeah, seriously. Them some magical eggs. Magical eggs. It's good to see you guys too. There's 75-year-old in India that had it. Now that probably doesn't surprise me because in them other countries, they know how to be healthy. They got the secrets. They live off the earth. They use herbs. They don't have all these pharmaceuticals everywhere. When I was just in Paris in January, and when you're walking down just every street and they always have like fresh produce, there's always like a fresh nut stand, and you get your meat fresh from the butcher. You're not going in the store and buying packaged meat. When you eat like that, I can't imagine how you're unhealthy. And then of course everybody there is very thin because for one, you walk everywhere, but then two, there's just fresh food so readily available. It's just right there for you to pick. I would love that. It has to be the food because we put all kind of crap. So when I got to France, my friend that I went there for, because she lives there, and I went to visit her, and she was like, you might notice your stomach's a little off. And the first couple days, I was like, by day three, I just wasn't feeling well. And so she's like, "Well, what are your symptoms?" I'm like, "My stomach's upset, my head is hurting, and I just feel so tired and sluggish." And she was like, "Are you hungover?" And I realized because when I was there, they have this stuff called hot wine, and it's literally on every corner. It's basically on the honor system. You just put your dollars in the jar and you just pour yourself this hot wine. So you're walking around with this hot, delicious wine. It's like infused with orange peels and cinnamon, and it's kind of like a apple cider like you would make. And I was drinking that like all day long, just walking around drinking my hot wine, not having a clue. I never drink. I hardly ever drink. So the third day she was like, "You're hungover." And I totally was that. But when I got back home in the States, I started eating our food again. I was sick for a week. This food we have is just, it was like, even with the wine, I still was able to clear my system a little bit because everything was so pure. Everything was made fresh. Everything was made to order. There wasn't a lot of things, except for in the bakery, that was already made. But even that you could tell had just really good quality. I was shocked. I think some of y'all saw on one of the vlogs, you don't put your eggs in the refrigerator. She kept buying these eggs and putting them in the counter. And I'm like, "Why are you not putting those eggs in the refrigerator?" And she was like, "Because they don't, if you eat the egg fresh from the chicken and don't put all these preservatives in it, they don't have to go in the refrigerator." I was mind blown. I'd never seen that before in my life. The only time I'd seen people leave eggs out is when my grandma was making cakes and need them to be room temperature. I didn't know you just could leave an egg on the counter. Who knew? But that's what happens when you eat things how they're supposed to be eaten. Learn something new every day. I know, Kristen. And they were so good. Like the yolks were so creamy. Oh, they were delicious. The cheeses, y'all. They had so many different cheeses. The meats were very, like, one thing you couldn't find there is like bacon, like we have bacon in the strips. They don't use bacon for breakfast like we do. They kind of, it's always sold chopped up and you kind of just saute it and add it to things like bacon bits kind of. Um, but they just eat really whole foods and it's very rich, but because it's like natural and really like health or nutrient dense, you don't eat a lot of it. You get full fast. It's really bizarre, but cool. Then you come back here and can eat a whole pizza and still feel like, did I eat something? Well, that's kind of fat, but you know what I'm saying. I have been to Spain. So I haven't been since I was 19. I went right in my senior year of high school and I loved it. I would love to go back there. Um, yep, they are very fresh food. Very fresh. And they have really good tapas, which are like little kind of like mini appetizers. And you just order a bunch of them and everybody kind of just shares. But the plates are just like the way they plate the food is such a small portion. And you think like this is not enough. But then by the time you're done eating, you're really shocked at how full you are or how content you are. They don't gorge themselves, other countries. We gorge. Every time I've had a friend come visit from a different country, like I remember my friend Burdu, she came from Turkey and we took her, where did we take her? I keep wanting to say it was like a buffet place. And no, because it was a plate they brought. I can't remember. I think it was like IHOP. That's where it was. They brought our breakfast and they had, they give you two plates, one for your pancakes and then one one for the sides, like the hash browns, the meat and the eggs. And she just could not believe that one person was eating that whole meal with your stack of two pancakes, which are like the size of a whole plate. They always are like, "You guys eat way too much." We do eat way too much. It's true. Well, guys, guess what? It's time for me. I have to leave in about 10, 15 minutes to get on this road. Tonight's visit for Babe. So I get to go see him tonight from 6 to 8. But it takes me, it's a mess because it takes me about an hour to get down there only because it's Friday and it's traffic. But then you have to get there early enough to wait in the line so that you're not at the end of the line. It's so much. Y'all, 5 months left. I got 5 months left and I am done doing prison. Done. 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 I cannot wait. So my goal is to do these on Fridays and maybe even a couple times during the week. because I just really want to like connect with my people. I feel like this is fun. This is really fun. So I'm gonna hopefully be back next Friday around the same time. Maybe if I figure out my schedule, I can do premieres so you guys know. But you guys have just blessed my heart today. Thank you so much for coming in. I really enjoyed this. I had so much fun. If you think of other things you want to see from me, or if you want me to answer other questions, please, you're not imposing. You can ask. I am an open book. If I don't want to answer, I'll just tell you. But I do not mind. So feel free. I think so too. It's going by really fast. Thanks for the music. I enjoy y'all too. Tasha, please do. Y'all need to. Tasha's hella dope. Y'all will like her. So I'm going to say bye. And I will see you guys soon, guys. Love you. Bye, guys. Now, how do I do this? How do I end it? Oh, Lord. I think I push. Okay. Okay.